everyone. Today I'm going to be picking my July TBR. Last time I picked a TBR was in April, so it's been a few months and I didn't succeed, but I did have 7 books, which might have been too many. I read 6 out of 7, so I think today I'm just going to do 6 books. But I have my TBR jar right here. The first prompt is going to be matches my outfit. And I have my bookshelves here, so let's find one that I think matches my outfit. I have 2 books here that I think maybe match my outfit. I'm kind of wearing like an odd color cardigan, like I don't really know what color you would call this, like maroon and kind of purple. And I'm wearing blue jeans. So I picked these 2. This one I'm not really sure, but I feel like it kind of matches my cardigan, like both the pink and the purple kind of match. I don't know. But then I feel like this one, it has blue flowers which match my jeans, and then there's also like red pieces and white for my shirt. So I feel like this one matches a little bit better. So I think I'm gonna go with Court of the Vampire Queen, which I haven't heard anything about, but it says Mina, she's half human, half vampire. She kind of doesn't fit into either world. And then her dad gives her to a vampire, Malachi, and then it just goes on from there. So I feel like this one could be interesting and a little bit different from what I usually read, since I'm not the biggest fan of vampire books, but I'm gonna give this one a chance and get it off my physical TBR because it is kind of getting a little bit crazy over here with how many books I have on my TBR. So this is gonna be my first pick, and then for my second pick it will be Animal in the Book. Oh, I have the perfect book in mind for this one, and I've actually been really wanting to read this one, so this prompt is perfect. This is The Cat Who Saved Books, which is about a talking cat who helps save books from bad owners. I'm really excited to get into this one because I've been wanting to read it for a long time. And it's quite a short book, so I feel like this will be an easy read to get through. The plot just sounds really cute to me, so what a perfect book for that prompt. Then the third one I'm gonna pick is this is just a simple one that just has the genre of fantasy. I think I might put this one aside for now and see what else I pick, just because I don't want to pick a book and then have a prompt come up that is a better fit. So I'm thinking I'm gonna wait and pick this one last. But then the next book will be, or the next prompt will be, book I've been putting off. I'm not sure what I'm going to choose for this one, but I'm going to take a look at what I have and see what I can find. I don't really have any physical books that meet that prompt, but I do have one in my Kindle library that I definitely have been putting off and I feel like fits the bill perfectly, which is Pride and Prejudice, which I've been wanting to read. I've never read it for a very, very long time. I've had it in my Kindle library since the beginning of the year. And I have read literally 3 pages. So I've been putting this book off forever, and I feel like July is the month to put it on my TBR and get through it. We will see if I finally read Pride and Prejudice in July, but I have big hopes. The next prompt I'm going to pick is new book. I feel like that could mean new release or new book I've gotten, but I'm gonna go with new book I've gotten because I don't think I have too many new releases right now, so I'm gonna pick a new book that I've bought recently. The one I pick for new book is going to be The Half King, which I got not too long ago, and I've been really wanting to read it because it just sounds really interesting and it's so beautiful. But it is... okay, this one is about the king, and he is kind of cursed, and he's going to die on his 21st birthday, and then Cerise is... she's an acolyte in the court, but she is kind of lying because she has no magic, and I think the two are going to interact a lot, but I'm really curious and excited to read this book, so I'm going to have to put it on my TBR. I definitely want to get to this one in July. I think this is the last prompt, which is going to be a book with sprayed edges, which I definitely have a lot of those, so this will be an easy one to pick. For a book with sprayed edges, I think I'm going to go with North is the Night, which is kind of a really long book, but I feel like since I have a really short book, I can have a longer book, and I've been wanting to get to this one. Okay, in this book, it is about two friends, and one gets captured and the other goes on a mission to find her, and she makes a bargain, and it sounds like there's going to be a lot of twists and turns in this one, and I feel like it is kind of a different plot than the other books I have going on so far. So this seems like a big story about friendship, so I'm excited to read this one and figure out just exactly how this book ends and what happens. So gonna add this one to my TBR, which now brings us back to the prompt I put for last, which is fantasy. And I'm going to be honest, I have quite a bit of fantasy on my TBR already, so I'm not sure what I'm going to pick, but I'm gonna take a look. This is a reread, but still a fantasy. I decided I'm going to put Phantasma on my TBR because the second book has come out, but I want to reread the first book because I kind of forget what happens. I also read Phantasma right, and I can't remember if it was before or after I read Caraval and Once Upon a Broken Heart, and those three books definitely blend together a lot in my mind, so I want to get a refresher. And I also love this book. This is probably one of my favorite books from 2024. So I'm excited to pick this book back up and do a reread so that I'm prepared to read the second book. I'm debating if I want to do one more prompt and get a 7th book, even though I didn't finish my TBR in April. I just have a lot of fun picking the prompts. So I think I'm gonna do one more. But we will see if I get to it. Alright. This one says lowest Goodreads rating. So I'm going to look on Goodreads and see what book has a low rating and put that on my TBR. Okay, I've looked up a ton of books, and surprisingly, this is, I think, one of the lowest rated books on my TBR. It's definitely the lowest one I could find. This book, Reckless Girls, only has 3.55 stars on Goodreads, which is kind of low, so we will see what I think. Just because it's rated kind of low doesn't mean that I won't like it, so we will see how I feel. This one is about 6 friends and they're vacationing on an island, and a lot of things start happening, so we will see what I end up thinking about this book. Hopefully I end up liking it. I did want to put something a little bit different than fantasy on my TBR just because I have a lot of fantasy so far. So just to go through all the books I ended up picking. I got Book That Matches My Outfit, which is Court of the Vampire Queen. Got Animal in the Book, which is The Cat Who Saved Books. Then I think I picked Book I've Been Putting Off, which I decided to go with Pride and Prejudice. Then Sprayed Edges, and I picked The Half King. Actually, that was wrong. The Half King is the new book prompt I ended up picking, and Sprayed Edges I went with North is the Night. Then I picked Fantasy Book as my prompt, and I chose Phantasma. And then the last prompt I picked was lowest Goodreads rating, which I ended up going with Reckless Girls. So, I have 7 books on my TBR, which is kind of a lot, but hopefully this time I end up getting through all of them. That's all the books I'm going to be hopefully reading in July, and thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again real soon. Bye.